Vietnam has warned that it will defend its sovereignty in the face of growing tensions with China in the South China Sea. The two states have experienced a crisis point in their diplomatic ties following Beijing's institution of its nine-line policy. Under the nine-line policy, China lays claim to several territories that are currently contested with multiple neighboring nations. Such has been the territorial dispute that China has clashed with the Philippines, Taiwan and Vietnam. In July, tensions between Vietnam and China reached a high point when Beijing dispatched a research ship to conduct surveying missions in waters controlled by Vietnam. Both countries claimed that they were merely exercising their own sovereign rights. More recently, Vietnam's president and Communist Party chief, Nguyen Phu Trong, has insisted that his country is prepared to defend itself at any cost in a recent government statement. Although he did admit that Vietnam had good relations with China, the president also stated that the country will never give its territory. Mr. Trong said, "We will resolutely and persistently maintain independence while fighting for the protection of our sovereignty, but we must maintain a peaceful environment for development. What belongs to our independence and national sovereignty, we will never give up. We are determined to fight and win." Although he did admit that Vietnam had good relations with China, the president also stated that the country will never give its territory. Mr. Trong said, "We will resolutely and persistently maintain independence while fighting for the protection of our sovereignty, but we must maintain a peaceful environment for development. What belongs to our independence and national sovereignty, we will never give up. We are determined to fight and win." In other news relating to the relations between the two countries, Vietnam recently pulled the DreamWorks film, Abominable, from its cinemas. The reason being for the decision was that in one scene where there was a map declaring China's nine-line policy. Due to its implementation of the nine-line policy, China has become increasingly visible in the region. As well as vessels passing through contested water, artificial islands have also been built. Such is the increased presence of Chinese vessels that both the UK and US have sent warships to help police certain areas of the region. Recently, the UK sent the new aircraft carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, to the region. China hit back at the news of the European nations ordering key ships in their fleets to sail to the disputed sea area. Major General Su Guanghu, China's defense attaché to Britain, said earlier this month, if the US and UK join hands in a challenge or violate the sovereignty and territorial integrity of China, that would be hostile action. This followed France's announcement that it sent its frigate, Dixmude, to the Spratly Islands, which are a contested group of islands within the nine-line. Due to the clash between the Philippines and China, a tribunal court was forced to intervene and voted that China had no evidence for historical claims on the territory.